Local news that matters. This is KC24 News at 5.
This is an emergency now in this neighborhood, and we're doing all we can to calm things down.
A neighborhood on edge, a city left in shock as a massive manhunt starts tonight for 2 gunmen who opened fire into the backyard of a Fresno home, killing 4 and injuring 6. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandre Balakian.
And I'm Stephanie Berugian. Fresno police searching for 2 suspects believed to be behind a deadly mass shooting in Fresno. It happened about 8 o'clock last night at a home near Olive and Peach. 10 people were shot, 4 died, 6 others were injured.
Now an entire neighborhood being victimized by this mass shooting, still trying to grasp the enormity of this tragedy. Our Kaylee Hunt spent the day talking with neighbors who very much on edge, knowing the gunman still on the loose. She joins us live from Southeast Fresno where the shooting took place. Kaylee.
Neighbors tell me how shocked they are that this took place in their neighborhood. Now they want to know what Fresno police will do to make them feel safe.
What took place last night, just as it shocked my officers that arrived there, has shocked that whole neighborhood.
Captain Anthony Martinez speaking out after a deadly shooting taking place in Southeast Fresno.
There has to be a public safety issue when all these gatherings are happening. Do we feel safe and should we feel safe? And how do we work with our police to make sure that that message gets across?
Former Fresno City Council member Blong Zhang says he has gotten numerous calls from worried neighbors wanting to know what Fresno police will do to keep their neighborhood safe.
So how do we move forward in such a quick manner here because of the issue, the tragedy, because this is a busy time for our community.
One neighbor who did not want to be on camera says this is a family neighborhood. The last place a shooting like this should happen.
It's like a family area, so you don't really think something like that's going to happen. And then for something like that's going to happen, every day, every morning, there's just kids outside playing basketball or just people taking walks.
Another neighbor telling me he has lived here for 10 years and he has never had a problem.
It's quiet. We've never had no problems here. The only problem is that we did, those apartments back there.
According to Captain Martinez, their #1 priority is to ensure the safety of everyone in Southeast Fresno.
We want the citizens of Fresno to know that we're doing everything we can to calm the violence and ensure that this doesn't spark in any other neighborhood in Fresno, specifically in that neighborhood where this took place last night.
Now Fresno police say they will continue patrolling this neighborhood until the 2 suspects are caught. For now, reporting live in Southeast Fresno, I'm Kaylee Hunt, KC24, local news that matters.
Kaylee, thank you. Today, Fresno Mayor Lee Brand releasing a statement about the shooting. Quote, the city of Fresno will not tolerate this type of violence in any of our neighborhoods. We will add whatever resources that are necessary to find those responsible. He goes on to say, quote, this is senseless tragedy does not define us, rather our response and unity as a community will. And I have complete confidence in our collective resolve.
And Valley Congressman Jim Costa spoke about the mass shooting today from the floor of the House of Representatives.
We must come together in our community in Fresno. I spoke with the mayor and talked about figuring out ways to bring our community together with local law enforcement agencies and community organizations to help us heal.
Costa also says gun safety legislation combined with state and local efforts would help make a difference in the frequency of gun violence. And today we're also learning more about the victims from last night's shooting, including a musician who was in his early 20s. Our Medeiros Bab has more on the 4 men who were killed.
The men ranging from 23 to 40 years old. 2 of them well-known Hmong musicians, the one named C. Lee. This video of Lily Bang and C. Lee has over 3 million views on YouTube. Lee, a famous Hmong artist, moved to the U.S. from Thailand as a refugee in the early 2000s. His aunt Lily Bang serving as his music mentor.
It was the opportunity for him to really chase his dreams.
3 albums and millions of fans later, he was truly living the American dream. Until Sunday, when his life was cut short in Southeast Fresno while at a football watch party.
When I heard about the news, I felt very broken. He definitely imprinted on me. He was like a little brother to me, and I am very shocked. I lost like a piece of me, and he really took a piece of my heart.
Fans and other artists also devastated. Jake Tao, who met C around 5 years ago, saying he is still in disbelief.
There's no way to explain how emotional, how mentally distressed we are with this scenario, because they're just really nice, kind people. And why that house specifically?
3 others also died. They were identified by the Fresno Sheriff's Office as 31-year-old Fia Vang, 38-year-old Ku Zong, and 40-year-old Ikalazang Tao. Pao Yang from the Fresno Center saying 2 of the men well known in the Hmong community.
They come out and perform to our mental health clients, every year, especially gearing up for the Hmong New Year.
Fans were planning on seeing C perform up in Sacramento on November 29th, but now they will never get that chance.
Madaris Babb reporting there. And the Central California Blood Center says following this tragedy, their supply is desperately low. They're asking for all eligible blood donors to drop by as soon as possible to donate a pint of blood. The Blood Center needs 5,000 to 6,000 pints each month to meet the needs of the valley. It only takes an hour of your time to help save a life. For more on where to donate, visit donateblood.org. And for continuing coverage of this fluid story, stay with us on air and online at yourcentralvalley.com.